I think it's kind of a convoluted way in which he'll be remembered. An iconic person who started some of the greatest musical talents of all time, but also a very difficult man in terms of the patriarch of a family, and maybe the cause for some of the issues that led to the downfall of Michael Jackson in his life.
I would really want to know what he was like in his later years.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the grandchildren have a different perception of him, because maybe later on in life he changed or softened or something. So I really like to know that. It's tough to see. I mean, to know, you know, unless you're on the inside with the family.
Right.
But,
and by the way, sometimes, you know, grandparents treat you amazing compared to, you know, your parents give you a little bit more tough love. Your grandparents, that's why you're most of the times excited to go to grandma's house or grandpa, and, you know, those things, like you said, we would have to know the insides and like really the dynamic between them. So am I totally surprised? I mean, you know, it's tough.
Yeah,
like, the man
like
passed away, and it's hard
criticism.
to just talk about all the negative things when someone's gone. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of convoluted.
Well, I think the glaringly obvious thing to me is these aren't meal tickets, the grandchildren. They didn't have the talents that Michael and Janet had. I mean, this is a family from Gary, Indiana, with nothing that said, Michael, Janet, Jackson 5, you guys can make us a lot of money. You have a lot of talent. Whereas he's now living lavishly, or was until he passed, and these were just grandchildren he could dote on and love and didn't need to necessarily use them as a meal ticket. And I'm not saying Joe used these children as a meal ticket. That's to be debated how he used Michael and Janet.
You're saying that he would recognize their talent early on.
And he pushed them.
Similar to, you know who, your favorite, Beyonce and her father.
Who also gets a bad rap.
Who also gets a bad rap. I think it's always tough when you're the parent of a child that is a superstar, or that you basically saw that in them from such a young age and really pushed them.
I think there are a lot of kids out there that have that talent, but like how the parent reacts to it. I mean, I think talent is given by God, but that doesn't really mean anything until you have someone to push you. And Jordan talks about that all the time with his dad pushing him really hard.
It's not
and
for
like,
everybody.
He was hard on you.
I always joke around and say my mom lives vicariously through me. You
They
know?
say the same thing with Serena Williams' father, that he was hard on them, and it's like it kind of pushed them to success as well. So like, what's the
one thing we can agree on? Joe Jackson was a present black father, and that is something to be recognized and appreciated. His parenting tactics aren't for everybody, but what he did raise was very successful children, and that's something to be appreciated, and he should be mourned in that regard. This blows my mind. Workers spend the equivalence of almost 11 days a year on Tinder at work and 27 days overall on dating apps alone. You got to be shocked to hear this, right?
I am super shocked. So in our defense, social media is a part of our job.
For
in
sure.
our defense. Not everybody's job, but
not the dating apps, though. Not the dating
apps.
No
Unless you're
excuse
doing research for a segment.
That's,
you know what?
That's some serious research.
I have to be honest with you.
That's a lot.
These people, they're not focused. 11 hours, that's extra money right there.
She said 11 days out
11
the year.
days.
11 days out the year.
I actually cut it short.
So that's, if you're a smoker on the job, you got to be sitting there smoking your cigarette on your break saying, we're not the only ones who aren't productive. It's not just us, clearly.
Yeah, because
that's all that money you're missing out on.
The smokers get a lot of criticism because some people take smoke breaks 5 times a day. It just depends.
Maybe companies will get smart and firewall the dating apps and the Facebook,
I'm
so you can't use them at work, so they're blocked.
But at the end, you mean on your phone too?
Yeah, so like there's certain websites you can't go on in a network at some place because it's an illegal website, and I wouldn't know. I've never tried it. But I know those things are out there, so maybe you should do the same thing with some of these dating apps so you make people more productive, because at the end of the day, what does a boss want? A productive worker. Clearly, these aren't productive workers.
Yeah, that's not a good look, honestly. It's just, it's a level of unprofessionalism, to say the least.
I'll say with those celebrities, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Nicki Minaj.
J-Lo didn't enhance hers.
No, J-Lo is all natural. She's the one that kicked it off.
Yes.
So their butts, though, annoy me because their legs are so thin, and like their leg
when
is
the
like,
thighs don't match.
Yeah, you gotta get, their thighs don't match their butt, is what I'm saying. So I want it to like look natural, like it looks so fake, and you're getting praised for looking fake when there are a lot of big booty girls out there already, and they look good.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get some?
Yes, girl.
High fives all around. Go ahead, get it.
As a member of the Big Booty Club.
Represent, girl.
Yes.
So let me ask something from a man's perspective. a guy doesn't do, at least most guys don't do a lot of these fake things, although later on in the show we'll be talking about one of those trends that men do engage in that's fake.
Yes, because the statistics have gone up.
But what you see is what you get with men for the most part. So I feel like women are a little bit sneaky with some of these things, like, is this real? Is this fake?
true.
Is
Let me
this
tell
real?
you, what they're putting in those butts these days, there's no way you can be sneaky about it.
I know, you can't hide it, right?
Literally is so distracting. And I always just think about, what is that going to look like in 5 years, 10 years, and when you gain weight? Because, of course, if you do it at a certain age and, you know, gravity takes over, it's not a good look.
You know, I'm always really torn on this, guys, because I don't want to shame people who choose to, like, I feel like if you
Not
choose
at all.
to change your body, that's your right, that's your choice. I guess I wish people would just be like, yeah, I did it, and not even talk about it. Like, for
That's my
for
issue.
For the Kardashians to act like they haven't had work done, I think only a couple of them admitted to boob jobs. For them
I don't
to
know
act
what's
like
worse,
that's
the fact that they act like it's natural or the fact that people actually believe them.
Yeah.
How can you believe
I'm
that?
concerned about the young girls who think that that's natural and
Right.
want to look like that, and it's like, that's not natural.
And there's a crazy amount of dangers that go behind that, because people that cannot afford it to do it the right way, FDA approved and all that stuff, there's a lot of dangers that lie in that.
Yeah.